You know what's worse than a car that breaks down? A car brand that's about to break down. You ever hear people bragging about their super reliable car brand, only to watch them crumble under the weight of their own poor decisions? Yeah, we're talking about car brands that used to be kings of the road but are now riding in the slow lane, straight toward the cliff. Today, we're diving into 10 car brands that are barely hanging on by a thread, and honestly, it might be time to say goodbye before you get stuck with their dying models. Let's get into it. And trust me, some of these picks might shock you. First up, Nissan. Remember when they were known for making reliable sedans and rugged trucks? Yeah, those days are looking like a distant memory. Nissan's been stuck in neutral for years now. They've got models that barely compete with other brands, and their designs, well, let's just say the Juke wasn't exactly a masterpiece. It's like they've forgotten how to keep up with the times. Their reliability scores have dropped too. The Altima, once a strong contender in the midsize sedan market, but now it's losing its edge, and don't even get me started on the Nissan Leaf. If you wanted an electric car with all the thrills of a potato, it's the perfect ride. The brand is literally struggling to find a niche. Sure, Nissan's still around, but they're fading faster than your favorite late-night TV show. Coming in at number 9, it's Chrysler. Once known for the 300 and the minivan, Chrysler is barely a shadow of its former self. The 300, that car is hanging on by a thread, and the minivan market, it's been snatched up by other brands, leaving Chrysler scrambling to stay relevant. Their attempts at innovation, let's just say a lot of it looks more like desperation than vision. The Pacifica Hybrid, it's like a box on wheels that makes you question what century we're in. Chrysler's been stuck in the past, trying to ride on nostalgia while everyone else is zooming ahead with modern tech and design. I hate to say it, but Chrysler's like that old friend who peaked in high school and never really moved on. Number 8, Ford. Hold up, Ford's got some good cars, but the writing's on the wall for their once great empire. Their sedans have all but disappeared, leaving only the Mustang to carry the torch. Now don't get me wrong, the Mustang's cool, but we're talking about a brand that once had everything from the Fusion to the Taurus. Now, it's a bunch of trucks and SUVs, and some of them, like the EcoSport, feel like they were built with leftover parts from the 90s. And the electric Ford Lightning? It's decent, but doesn't quite have the magic of Tesla or the future-forward innovation of other brands. Ford's trying, but they're stumbling along, caught between nostalgia and the future, and it's not a good look. Number 7, Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo, the name sounds exotic, the logo looks prestigious, but the reality? Not so glamorous. This brand is basically the automotive equivalent of a beautiful house with a crumbling foundation. Their cars look great, sleek Italian design that turns heads, but once you get behind the wheel long-term, the problems start piling up. Reliability, questionable. Dealer network, practically non-existent in the US, and resale value, let's just say you might be better off lighting your money on fire. Alfa tried to re-enter the American market with a bang. The Giulia and Stelvio were supposed to mark a comeback, and for a minute, people got excited. But poor reliability ratings and inconsistent quality control quickly killed the buzz. Unless something changes drastically, Alfa Romeo might end up being a cool story bro footnote in car history. Number 6, Jaguar. Jaguar used to be the symbol of British luxury, sleek, refined, and just a little bit dangerous. Fast forward to now, and it's more like a brand stuck in an identity crisis, desperately trying to stay relevant while bleeding sales. Sure, the cars still look great, the F-Type is a stunner, and the interiors feel plush, but under the surface, it's a mess. Reliability has haunted Jaguar for decades, and sadly, they still haven't shaken that curse. Owners often report electrical gremlins, quirky tech, and inconsistent build quality. Not exactly confidence-inspiring when you're shelling out luxury car money. The brand is now promising a full EV lineup by 2025, but it honestly feels like a Hail Mary, a last-ditch rebrand before fading into the luxury car archives. With shrinking market share and stiff competition from BMW, Audi, and even Lucid, Jaguar's future is hanging by a thread. Number 5, Buick. Buick's still alive? Barely. This brand somehow exists in this weird in-between zone. Not quite luxury, not quite mainstream, and that identity crisis is killing it. Buick used to mean big, comfy American sedans. Now, it's mostly rebadged crossovers that barely stand out in the sea of SUVs. Their older audience, aging out. Their younger audience, non-existent. Buick's biggest market isn't even in the US anymore. It's China, and even there, the brand's losing steam fast. In North America, you probably can't name more than one current Buick model. It won't be a dramatic collapse, more like a slow fade into remember when territory. Number 7. Volkswagen. Even Volkswagen isn't safe. This brand might be huge globally, but in the US, it's been losing its grip for years. Once beloved for the Beetle and Golf, Volkswagen's American lineup now feels scattered. The Golf is gone, the Beetle's dead, and their sedans have all but disappeared from the conversation. Then there's Dieselgate, a scandal so big it still casts a shadow nearly a decade later. Volkswagen's identity in the US feels confused. Are they premium? Are they affordable? Fun? Practical? It's like they're trying to be everything and ending up as nothing. They're not going away tomorrow, but VW in America, it's dangerously close to being just a memory. Number 8, Infiniti. Infiniti is the textbook definition of a brand that lost its way. It launched to compete with Lexus and Acura, but now it's barely part of the luxury conversation. The designs feel outdated, the tech lags behind, and the lineup's confusing and forgettable. Their connection to Nissan doesn't help either, especially with Nissan's own struggles. Infiniti's sales have been sliding for years, and nothing they've launched recently has moved the needle. They're stuck chasing a luxury market that passed them by a decade ago. Unless there's a total reboot, Infiniti's days look seriously numbered. Number 9, Acura. Remember when Acura was supposed to be Honda's cool luxury cousin? These days, it feels more like a forgotten sibling. Once known for cars like the Integra and TL, Acura's lineup has become a blur of forgettable SUVs and sedans that don't quite compete with Audi, BMW, or even Lexus. Their designs? Safe. Their innovation? Meh. And the brand identity? Almost non-existent. They tried reviving the Integra, but it landed more like a polite golf clap than a standing ovation. Acura's stuck in the middle. Not luxurious enough to fight the premium giants, not affordable enough to pull budget buyers. It's a shrinking lane, and Acura's running out of road. Number 10, Dodge. Dodge has fans, loud, loyal fans. But the brand itself, it's running on fumes and nostalgia. The Charger and Challenger are iconic, sure, but they're also dinosaurs. Dodge has been squeezing every drop out of its muscle car era while everyone else is charging into an electric future. The Durango is aging, the Journey's gone, and what's left feels like a greatest hits album from 2012. Their EV plans? Vague and late. Meanwhile, everyone else is racing ahead with hybrids, EVs, and innovation. If Dodge doesn't evolve fast, it could go from muscle legend to museum piece real quick. So there you have it. 10 car brands that are barely hanging on, some more shocking than others. Does it mean they'll all disappear tomorrow? Probably not, but if you're thinking long-term and for buying, investing, or just staying informed, it's smart to keep a close eye on who's adapting and who's still stuck in the rear view. And hey, did your favorite brand make the list? Or do you think we missed one that really deserves to be here? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe for more brutally honest car content every single week. We're just getting started.